Hi, John Haney for the Job Shopper. The granddaddy of all job interview questions is still, surprisingly, the one that proves the most difficult for most job seekers to answer. That question? Tell me about yourself. It's really more of a request than a question, but it can put you on the spot and knock you out of contention entirely for the job if you don't respond appropriately. The most important thing to recognize is what the interviewer wants to hear. They don't want to hear about your childhood, your college years, your hobbies, your interests. They want to get a feel for your skills, your experience, your talents, and your accomplishments. So, don't ask the interviewer for clarification on the question or whether they're interested in you personally or professionally. You're not responding to Match.com. You're in a job interview. You ought to know what they're interested in, and you can be pretty sure they want to hear about your technical writing skills and not your tennis. You should be walking into every interview ready with a 90-second to 2-minute response that contains the key elements that the interviewer wants to hear. Start out with a brief introduction and then segue into your key accomplishments, your primary strengths that are demonstrated by those accomplishments, the importance of these strengths to the employer and how they fit in what the employer wants to do, and finally, how you see yourself developing these talents further for the employer. Now, I'll assume you've already done the groundwork and have taken a complete inventory of your personal strengths and professional accomplishments, and you've determined which ones of these are most important to the employer. So, let's assume you're interviewing for a position as a project manager for a software development company. You've got the skills and the experience necessary to do the job. Now you've got to convey concisely how you can help the employer achieve their business objectives by hiring you. So it can go something like this. I spent my entire career in software development loving the challenges of staying on top of all the latest technologies and creating thoughtful software solutions that help businesses perform better. And although I've always loved the process of coding applications, I discovered early on that I enjoy the strategic elements of software development even more. I've always been extremely organized, and I've discovered that my ability to envision and organize complex tasks is crucial to successful software development. At my last job, I was responsible for the mobile applications group that was preparing to launch mobile applications for the BlackBerry and iPhone that would synchronize with the company's desktop software. When I got there, the software was already 3 months late and costing the company both in lost revenue and damaged reputation. With help from the marketing group, I established new priorities. I set benchmarks for our developers on both platforms, created a reporting system that let everyone see daily progress, and we finally delivered the new mobile apps in 45 days. These mobile apps have now been adopted by over 60% of the company's clients and generated over $150,000 in revenue. As a leading software company in the social media space, I can bring the same commitment, organization, and structure to your development projects to ensure that you maintain first mover status. By the way, how are your new mobile applications coming along? There. I've introduced my primary professional strengths. I've illustrated how those applied to my previous position, demonstrated the value of my experience, and opened the interview to discuss those specific projects to explore how I can contribute to their business objectives. Now, if they want to know more about my tennis game, we can chat about it over lunch after they hire me.